What's up, guys? Buenos dias. Got bebesita here, taking care of business first thing in the morning. And then the puppy's looking out at the ocean right now. I wanted to do this video that Manosphere Highlights Daily did. Great channel. If you guys don't already subscribe to them, subscribe to them. They got good content, pretty entertaining and educational at the same time. Saw this video. I didn't realize it was Manosphere Highlights Daily. I thought it was my friend's video because the girl that's in the video is one of my friends that I know from the she's a model out in the Philippines that I knew when I was out living out there. Now she's doing like dating advice, relationship advice for women, talking about men, explaining things like today's subject that I want to cover because it's super important and for you guys to know the difference with how you think before you bust and after you bust. And I'm gonna give my take on this, my advice and opinions, go along, cover what they talk about, give you a couple stories that kind of relate to this. So let's play it.
Just a side note, for the guys that are interested in taking their talents overseas, the Philippines is not a bad choice. But there are pros and cons everywhere, so it depends on what you are looking for. So please do your own investigation. There are some great channels that provide great insight into traveling abroad and even moving abroad. So
I'll stop it right there. What he said, the Philippines is a great place if you're looking to find a wife or a long-term relationship. I 100% agree with that. Out of all the places I've been to, the Philippines has the nicest, most sweetest, most kindest women. Friendly too. The people are friendly, not just the women. The people are kind, humble, generous, caring, giving people. And so the women are very feminine, shy. A lot of them are reserved, very religious, but not in the city. The city, the girls are becoming more westernized. But if you go further out from the city, go into the provinces, that's where you'll find the type of girls that you can have for a long-term partner and enjoy a longer relation. Maybe not for life, but at least for quite a few years, more than you would with a Western woman. You would have more success. Like he said, do your own research. There's plenty of channels. I've given plenty of advice. I have a couple videos on retiring in the Philippines, moving over there. I also just did a video of Thai women versus Philippine women because those are like the top two countries like a lot of Westerners want to move to. And there's pros and cons to each. And so I just did a video about that. So check those out. Like he said, there's plenty of channels that talk about that. I talk about pretty much generally things for men to help men. It's not just about hoes, girls, whatever, relationships. It's about improving, whether it has to do with like your business, your fitness, your location, relationships, all of the above that men have to deal with. That's kind of like what I have my channel. All the things that I love in life, I'm trying to share all the things that helped me to get to where I'm at and all the things that I learned along the way on my journey to where I'm at right now. And on my journey, I've been able to enjoy hanging out, making friends, being intimate, having relationships with some of the most beautiful girls anywhere around the world. And they're so nice. I've been able to find it now to a level where I get both love, affection, and variety, which is kind of unheard of from getting it from multiple girls. Like I used to live in the Philippines for 10 years and that's when I was going back and forth. And then my life in Mexico overlapped with the Philippines for about 4 to 6 years. 4 to 6 years of my last 10 years that I was living in the Philippines, I was doing Philippines and Mexico back and forth. And to the point where everything that I saw in Mexico and discovered just was much better for me in all aspects. So I just started losing interest in being in the Philippines. Each time I went back to the Philippines, I didn't want to be there anymore. All I could think about was Mexico, all the adventures I would have down here, the girls that I met, the girls that were super hot and amazing and fun and more outgoing than what I had. My life in the Philippines was amazing. So just imagine that how much more better it is that I have in Mexico. And this is for me. It may be different for all you guys, but based on my life that I've lived, Mexico wins hands down for me. To the point where I relocated, learned another language, and got situated, and now have my network out here. So let's keep going.
limit yourself with Manosphere Red Pill content. Watch the money channels, the travel channels, the fitness channels.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with going your own way, fellas. But it is wrong to waste your life. Let's chant. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we many, we... Reminding me.
That's what I was talking about. You can't just limit yourself to one type of topic. Like, there's other channels that just talk about hoes, and it's like, what more can you deliver? You're not going to be known or for anything respectable besides hoes. Yeah, hoes was a part of my life where I was dealing with the bar girl scene for a while, you know, but I've stepped out of that scene, and my life is just so much more than that. And that's why I don't just talk about that on the channel, because that just ends up becoming boring, and you'll have a limited audience. You know, so that's why my channel is more geared towards like what he just said: fitness, business, traveling, you know, and relationships. All the things we got to deal with as men. So.
Okay, what's post-nut clarity syndrome? Basically is, you know, when a man has sex with a woman that initially he thought he liked, and then after he comes or has orgasm, he realizes, oh, I'm not really into this girl, and so they ghost her, or they start.
So let's stop right there. So you can see she's hot, and English is not her first language, so she's doing a good job speaking English, explaining it for a Filipino girl. You know, I know her, she's cool. We went out a couple times. Smart, works out, takes care of herself. What she was explaining of like the post-nut clarity is when you thought you liked the girl, you really wanted her, and then after you bang her, and then you bust, you have your orgasm, you nut, post-nut, you start to think differently. You're like, damn, you notice the things you didn't like, maybe how you imagined her body was gonna look like wasn't how it looked when she took the clothes off, or maybe there was something else that turned you off, you know, that you noticed, maybe a smell or certain things about her that was not what you had pictured that it was going to be, and it kind of like turned off maybe her personality, or how she got clingy or changed and everything. And like what she said, a lot of guys, once they get it and then realize like, damn, what did I do? Then they just ghost them. And I'll admit, I've done that a couple times. It happened more like back in like high school, college, when I used to bang all these girls, and then after I get them, you know, after talking to them for a while and doing all that stuff, almost like having a relationship, and then after banging them, I felt like, I don't like this girl or whatever, for some reason, and then you just stop talking to them. That's kind of like how I broke it off, and that's how a lot of guys do it. And she seems like, from experience, that's what she's saying too, that guys have ghosted her as well. Maybe they didn't like something about her, or just like what I was mentioning, the reasons for guys just stopping altogether right after the post-nut clarity. They realize with a clear head what they just did.
Acting differently towards her, no longer pursuing energy, no longer kind of romantic energy, or
yeah, just like what I just mentioned, where you talk to them for a while and you get them to like you, and then they finally give it up to you after you put in all that work in getting them to like you, and then the girl gets like freaking confused as to why you ghosted them right after they were intimate with you.
they move on to other girls, and they're gonna
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was juggling like at least 3 girls at a time back in high school, college. After each one, I had another one that I wanted, kind of like the next conquest. And that's just how it is. Like, guys by nature want to conquer things. You know, what we can't conquer now by doing war or killing and everything. That's not like acceptable like how it used to be. But the way we conquer now is through conquering women via relationships, or being able to get them to have sex with you, or conquering, like dominating business, making money. That those are ways that are like, or sports or martial arts. Those are ways that it's done these days, since like we're not going out as gladiators battling each other, or, you know, invading other countries like that. That's our nature as men.
repeat the pattern, and so they're called boys.
Real quick, you don't have to be an F-boy to have post-nut clarity. This is men in general. We have a natural sexual drive.
You know, so post-nut.
Yeah, I kind of just mentioned that, like, our drive is what motivates us to do well, to make money. We make money for what? For women. If there were no women, we wouldn't be working so hard.
Clarity. This is my theory on post-nut clarity. Okay, because you know, humans were.
If you hear that in the background, like, so she lives in a high-rise condo. This is like, they have in the condos over there, they have the pools like mid-level or on the roof of the high-rise condo. If you hear the horns in the background, that's all you hear all day and all night in the Philippines, horns being honked, because People are just tired of sitting in traffic and the traffic not moving, so they get frustrated and just honk the horns. It's not like in America where you honk the horn, people get pissed. It's just a normal thing over there. People don't even get pissed when people are honking the horns. It's just part of driving. The horn is used so much. That's all you hear. You hear it so much that it becomes, you kind of get numb to it. You stop hearing it, even though it's going off all the time. But since for us it's kind of new, you can hear it like clearly in the background.
Socially conditioned of a lot of things, you know. Big boobs, you're supposed to be attracted. And humans are multidimensional beings, you know. We have our biological selves, our spiritual selves, our socially conditioned egos or self-concept, or false self-concept. There's even like the tree brain theory, you know, the limbic system, what are the three brains? Something like the reptilian brain, mammalian brain, and the neocortex. You know, reptilian brain is the fight or flight, freeze or fawn response, and then the mammalian brain is the one responsible for emotions and you know, emotions and feeling and attachment and, you know, and all that. And the neocortex is the one responsible for like higher ideals, like abstract things, spirituality, God, art, beauty, you know. So we are multidimensional beings.
Yes, she is correct. People are multidimensional beings. Just for clarity, check your screen. This is the three-brain system, what she's talking about. Janice.
The concept of the three-brain system refers to a theoretical framework that suggests the existence of three distinct regions in the human brain, each associated with different functions. These regions are often referred to as the reptilian brain, the limbic system, and the neocortex.
You know, and so I think my theory on post-nut clarity is, you know, in the beginning, because the guy sees a girl with makeup, sexy dress, sexy boobs, you know, or boob job, or push-up bra, you know, and first of all, he has a biological imperative to spread his seeds, okay, no matter what the girl looks like, you know.
I'm gonna stop right there. So she did a pretty good job of explaining this. I'll give that to her on like her explanation of the three brains and how she's explaining right now the attraction and how men want to spread their seeds. So that's why I wanted to share this. And I messaged her after I watched this video. I'm like, hey, I just saw they used one of your videos, and she's all happy and said thank you. You know, maybe I'll get her on the channel to do an interview and get her what she's kind of like teaching women and like what I'm teaching men, and we'll kind of like see where we agree and disagree. See how we can see what women are teaching women, and then we can base our response, how we deal with them based on like what they're teaching, because this is what they think. She's teaching what she thinks that women need to do that guys want, and then I'm teaching what I know as a man that guys want, and I really don't hold anything back. And I think that's why a lot of you watch this channel, because I don't sugarcoat stuff. You know, I just try to tell things really how they are, whether other people would be shamed to admit a lot of the things that I've talked about. I have no shame. I admit that I was living in the whorehouse for years, pretty much, when I first moved here. That's why I moved here. And most guys will never have the balls to admit that ever, let alone on camera for everyone to see. So my life is just, well, I've experienced everything, like from the girl next door to models, to working girls, to the whole spectrum of girls. I've dealt with it. You know, long-term relationships, I've done that. Short-term relationships, one-night stand, everything. All that stuff, I've all like done it all, and I've learned from all these experiences and put it all together for you guys, where I try to take pieces from each thing that I've learned and put it all together for you guys, and it comes together in this one channel where I'm teaching you everything. Let's keep it going.
It doesn't have a biological imperative to commit to all of those, you know. All of those women is gonna.
So at least she knows the reality. Like, if for us, we want to spread our seed with as many reproduce. That's in like animal nature. If for a male to want to reproduce and spread his seed, and she said it herself that we're really not monogamous. In other words, biologically.
Spread his seeds too, you know. But and then he has his ego, where, you know, I'm the man if I get laid by all these hot chicks in makeup and high heels and sexy dresses, you know. So
that's funny how she mentioned how a guy thinks like when he's banging all these hot girls. I'm the man.
A lot of those are going on in his head, but he's not aware, But those things are not his core self, And so when he meets a girl, all those aspects of him are like, I want this girl, but I want to spread my seed in this girl. That says his biological aspect of him. And his ego tells him, I should get laid by this girl, I'm the man, blah, blah, blah. And then...
I'll stop right there. She described it really well, but about the ego where the guy thinks I should get laid, I don't think like I should get laid by the girl, but they want to lay the girl. That's the difference. And then we try to do what we can to get the girl to lay us if we really want it that bad. And it's not like what she was saying, where maybe some guys think that way, but for me, I think that I want to bang that girl, and now I got to figure out what I need to do to be able to get to bang that girl.
His core self, who he truly is in his core, his soul, is only attracted to very few women, and usually those are women that he has soul connection with, soulmates.
She's right there. Like for me, she said it's spot on, where guys can be attracted to have sex with pretty much any girl, but attracted to have a long-term relationship that you fall in love with, like what she's saying, the soulmates, that I can agree with, to where you don't want to have every girl as your soulmate. I only have very few, like my main girl that I love, definitely different from all the rest, how I feel for her versus like how I feel for her and the other girls that come stay with me. Yeah, I love them in a way to where I care more about them than the average girl, but not as much as love as like a soulmate type person. We have certain things that we share, that we love, that we like hanging out with each other, that we fulfill these different parts of what we want in a relationship that maybe we don't get in the main relationship. But the main one, the soulmate one, has a majority of the things that you're looking for in a mate. The goal of trying to find the perfect one doesn't exist. All you can do is try to find the person that has the most traits that you're looking for. Just be happy with that. Deal with the negative side of it. If you really love that person that much, you'll take all the good things, and so let's say out of the 10 things you want, she has like 8 out of the 10 things that you really love or looking for in a long-term partner, but then she has 2 things that you really don't like. So the 8 things, you got to like them more to be able to accept the 2 things you don't like. And most people, the way that they're doing their relationships right now is that if they don't have all 10, it's all or nothing, and that's kind of like not how relationships should be. Relationships should be to where you love them more than like what I was saying, the 8 out of 10, the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of what you want in a mate or a soulmate is what they have, but it's still lagging the 20%. And then if you just keep trying to focus on trying to find that perfect one that has a 10 out of 10, it most likely ain't ever going to happen. It's very low chance that it's ever going to happen, and you'll just remain unhappy because you're not content or not happy or thankful for what you do have. So I like how she explained that, and it's nice to hear it from a girl that really can understand. She understands like the relationship dynamic and kind of like how a man is thinking. So that's why I wanted to confirm what she was saying.
Karmic partners, twin flames, And so when he has orgasm, when a man comes, in that moment, he's spotless, He is free from all those other aspects of him bugging his brain. In those moments that he has orgasm, it's the closest to his divine self that he can get. It's the closest to his core, his soul he can get,
This is pure gold. I like that she refers to it as being closest to his divine self, because in this context, it's self-realization. It's considered the true essence of who you are beyond your ego, conditioned beliefs, and limitations.
And so when he's operating in that moment, in that core self, in that moment, he realizes he's not really attracted to those other girls that he doesn't have soul connection with, and that's when he gets post-nut clarity syndrome. He becomes clear. He has a clarity that I'm not in my core, in my soul, in my true self, I'm not really attracted to this girl. But he's still not aware. A lot of men are still not aware, depending on their level of self-awareness. But that's what's happening.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Awareness. Because we can't help you after you've done effed up. Prevention is better than cure. Don't think with your DICK. Don't think with your little head. When you think with your little head, you get in trouble. There are enough horror stories out there of passport bros following the lead of their little head. Stop the foolishness.
I'm going to add to that. He's so right what he just said. Like, a lot of guys think with their little head, and then even though they banged her already, they're so limited to options that they feel like this is the one and they want to be with it. It's the first time they felt any of these feelings for a girl. They feel like the girl really loves them, when a lot of them could be acting because they want that visa or they want to support for their family, whatever the reason may be that they want to be with you, because you're not their first choice. Guys, if you're not from there, you don't share their same local and cultural norms and can relate to them the way that they relate. That's why they have their local broke boyfriends, because that's what they're used to. That's their level. That's what they were raised around. And so that's what they get with. We as a foreigner, when we come into these countries, we're not their first pick. I'm not her first pick. You know, I'm an Asian, older dude that is not from here, but we share these common things that we enjoy, and we grew to like each other. And she's young, of course. They prefer, like, that's why they have their young broke boyfriends. But it doesn't stop you from, stop it right there. You have to have other things besides like what they look for in a young, good-looking broke boyfriend. Maybe I don't have the young, good-looking looks that they're attracted to, but I make up for it in all these other ways. You know, I'm smart, I'm funny, I can help them, I make money, I have freedom. You know, like, I know how to have fun. I got weed, which they love, American weed. I got alcohol. I got a beach house. So it's got all these other things that you can do in life to, like, get them to be attracted and enjoy time with you. And it's not just about the money. Whereas, like, a lot of these guys, they get with these girls, and the only reason the girl wants anything to do with them is because their what the financial reward that they can get from them. And that's why, like, my 5 to 8 main girls that I have, it's not all about the money, you know, like, they've proven it to me by even getting 5 of them already got my name tattooed on them in, like, different languages. And that is, like, the ultimate show of affection. I didn't ask them to do it. I didn't pay them to do it. They all willingly offered and wanted to do it. And so, you know, that shows a lot, to where I never thought that this could happen. And I never thought that any girl would ever do that for me. But now I'm at a point in life where it's just getting better and better and better. And I'm learning all these things along the way, and just dealing with all these girls at the same time, and finding just such an amazing group of girls that I share feelings with and that have feelings for me has, like, completely advanced and got me leveling up even faster mentally. The knowledge that I'm receiving from all the lessons I'm seeing, even with post-nut clarity, after banging them and being with them, I still enjoy hanging out with them. And that's when you know that it's something more than just physical wanting to just bang them. And that's why, like, the 5 that I spend the most time with are, like, my favorite. They're my top. You know, look, every morning they're here. They make me joints. They do the things whatever I ask them to do. They don't complain. You don't see her complaining or saying or demanding or, you know, whining or any of that stuff, or feeling being ungrateful. She's just happy and content. And all the girls that I deal with are just like her. They're happy, always smiling. They're content. They don't ask for nothing. They just enjoy and entertain themselves and let me handle my business, you know. But again, I get distracted because they're here with me, you know. But that's why I try to record the videos when they're here, so at least when we're together hanging out, that I could do something productive at the same time. And then I try to do work at the same time, but I just can't focus as much when they're here, because, you know, I want to hang out with them at the same time and spend time with them, because you can't take these times for granted, because one day they may be gone. And so I try to make the most of each moment with all of them and try to leave their life better before they met me. You know, each time I try to leave everything better than when I got there, but before they met me. So that way you can have positive influence in their life that they'll never forget you for. And the feelings that you'll leave them with will stay with them forever. When they think about you, when they remember who you are, and when your name is brought up, or the memory of something. Mira, baby, los delfines. Están cerca. Está aquí enfrente. ¿Dónde está la ola? Then they'll think of how you've treated them, and, like, the things you did for them, and the feelings. That's what comes up. their memories, the things you guys did together, how you made them feel is what's going to come up. So, all right, let's keep going.
As I said before, we have a natural sex drive. That 22 seconds of mind-numbing bliss is not worth 18 years of child support for a kid you didn't plan to have with a woman that's full of shit, or even jail time because you can't pay, or all of these stupid dinner dates where these women are just using you for foodie calls, just for that 22 seconds of mind-numbing bliss. The foolishness. That's why
I don't know what he's going to say, but I'm saying that's why don't date in America or any of these first world countries where the women have become entitled. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Just save your money, work hard, and go to a country where the women are still feminine. And even if you had to pay, it's still going to be cheaper than a date or movies, a movie dinner date in America or one of these countries that you're living in where you're doing so much work to try and get laid and you still don't get the outcome. So don't bother, guys.
why we highlight these videos to bring awareness so you can protect yourself at all times.
My theory, and that's my intuition that's happening. When he has orgasm, that's the closest to heaven, to his divinity, to his truest, authentic self that he can get. That he's so honest with himself in that moment. That's why somebody told me before that if you want to know if a guy loves you, like the first 15 seconds after he has orgasm, that's his most honest moment. In those moments, you can ask him, do you love me? And if he has...
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. She's right that we're in our almost honest moment in our mind. We ain't going to tell her that we ain't attracted to her at that moment. That's why the guy just finds it easier to ghost them. Because if you tell them, then they get crazy, they start crying, they fight with you or whatever, and you're gonna hurt their feelings. You're gonna hurt their feelings, break their heart. That's what's gonna happen because now they already gave up what they really didn't want to give up in the first place. They're gonna feel like you betrayed them, backstab them, or just use them, and that's when the Me Too movement comes into play, where they accuse you of where you use them and like you rape them because they got hurt that much, and that's why they still do it even if you ghost them. So she did explain it in a good way, but what she said of asking the guy right then in that moment if we love the girl, no, that's not the right moment to ask, because you just got to wait for when a guy says, well, asking that question is the wrong, you're going to scare the guy, you're going to make the guy feel like you're a clingy, over emotional, we call him a Klingon, you're going to make him run away even faster or ghost you even faster. So girls, if you're a girl watching this, do not ask that question right after banging. It's awkward. You'll know if he still calls you to hang out and do things after, then you know he's interested. But if all he does is call you to want to bang, then he's just using you to bang. He's just going to bang you a couple more times, and then he's probably going to ghost you. He likes you still in a part of it, and maybe he doesn't have options, so he's going to keep banging you until you don't bang him anymore. That's what ends up happening. So if you're a girl...
Hola, what's up guys? Had to interrupt the video to bring you guys an important announcement. A lot of you guys watching, I've been receiving tons of messages from guys that are virgins, that haven't been laid yet, that want to get laid, and maybe guys that have already been laid, but they're not getting access to girls where they're at, so they want to get laid still. These guys are getting taken advantage of, reaching out to escort, strippers, or whatever they're reaching out to, wasting all that money. If you really need help that bad and you want to do it that bad, reach out. I'll help you guys. We'll discuss whatever it is that you're facing. It can also be other stuff. Maybe you're heartbroken and need advice or need something to help you get over that heartbreak. Maybe you have a wife or a girlfriend where you feel like she's cheating on you or things just aren't the same. I can help you analyze the situation and get over it. I've gone through a lot of relationships already with girls from all over the place, all over the world, different places, so I've seen all the things that they do. Been in long-term relationships, so I know what a marriage feels like. I know what divorce feels like. I haven't been divorced, but in a long-term relationship to where I felt like divorce pretty much. And so I've seen a lot of people go through it, and I can help you guys that are going through these type of things too. If you need help, maybe like going to another place, I could put you in touch with people in different places in part of my network, or find people that are viewers as well that can help. That's why I'm doing this, to get the word across of the things that I can help you with. Not just that, if you own a business and you're accepting credit cards, and you're still paying the fees, you don't got to pay the fees no more. You're pretty much just throwing your money in the trash. You're better off just using it on yourself, splurging, taking a vacation, enjoying like this in a pool in a tropical location somewhere where there's nothing but palm trees around and tropical birds, that kind of stuff where the weather's perfect. You could be doing that instead. Or if you have some friends or family that own businesses that are still wasting their money paying the fees, reach out, send me an email. I'll be able to help. So I can help with a number of things, and I'll be glad to, put you guys in the right direction. Same if you guys want to go to Costa Rica, I got friends out there. Cancun, I got friends down there. Philippines, I got a lot of friends out there. So you guys need help on any of that stuff, reach out. I'll be glad to put you in contact so that way you can have a better experience all around. And like I said, if you need help with any of the stuff that I mentioned before, let me know. I'll be glad to help you to achieve your goal. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Adios. Pura vida.
What she was saying about asking the guy at that moment, what she was told that's the most clear moment a guy is. Yeah, that's true, but he ain't going to tell you the truth. Most likely he ain't going to tell you if he doesn't love you. Or maybe he will. You never know, but most guys won't. And that's not the right question to ask right after. So do not ask if a guy loves you right then and there, right after banging, especially if it was a one-night stand. It's going to look super weird. It's like after going on one date and asking the girl to marry her, they're going to find it super weird and like, what's wrong with this guy? And they're going to think the same way. What's wrong with this girl? She's so clingy and emotional. I got to watch out. Watch what I do with this girl. So don't ask that if you're a girl.
The dates, then, we don't know. But if he says yes, then maybe he does, and most likely he does. He truly means it, whatever his meaning.
No, he's lying at that moment just to keep getting you to keep letting him get in your pants.
Of love is in that moment, depending on his level of self-awareness. So if he hesitates, then maybe he's...
Red flag alert.
Be careful here. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, so they should be extra aware of post-nut clarity and should not use to figure out if a man loves them. She said in the beginning, people are multidimensional beings. Personally, I loved women purely for that, nothing else. A relationship is multidimensional as well. That's why you shouldn't lead with sex, and understand that building and maintaining a healthy, fulfilling relationship often requires effort, effective communication, mutual respect, and shared values. But we all know women don't listen to us. We all know it's just easier to blame all of their problems on men.
If he hesitates, then maybe, maybe he doesn't really truly love you, or he doesn't know what love means yet,
Or doesn't want to hurt you.
or is just sexually attached to you, emotionally attached to you
Or just wants to keep banging and get that ass for free.
because of the sex,
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.
All right, guys, so that was a good video. Like, again, if you haven't subscribed to Manosphere Highlights Daily, subscribe to the channel. He does great content. It's not easy putting out videos and thinking of what to say and the topics you're going to talk about. And this guy, his channel, he does great editing. He puts in really good clips that explain the points that show the points that he's trying to make. So props to the Manosphere Highlights Daily channel, because they got some really good quality content. It's like one of my favorite channels that I watch. Like, you just binge watch all his videos all at once. If you haven't, he's got so many that have golden lessons in them. All right, so I'm gonna read some of the comments I thought that were interesting on this video post. This guy writes, another reason why women should save themselves for their husbands. By the time my husband got that clarity, I was his wife. So true. While technically she's sort of correct, asking during post-nut clarity is actually the worst time for women to ask that, because most women aren't prepared or mature enough to deal with the answer they're likely to get. If you want honesty, you're better prepared to handle it, and women rarely are. And I explained that in the video. I explained that earlier. This guy writes, I was just about to comment something similar. Who the fuck's trying to talk after a climax? It's time to relax. I'd advise women to give man his space after, and if he stays or wants her to stay, then there's nothing to say. He'll stay. I remember one time too, I banged a girl. She wanted to bang. There were 3 sisters. I banged 2 of the sisters, out of the 3, I was still trying to get the third, but she wasn't down to bang. And so I banged the two sisters that I wanted the least. They're both cute, but the third sister was just so much more prettier and hotter, and the youngest one, and that's the one I really wanted. After I banged the two sisters, I had the post-nut clarity, and she was asking me to stay with her in her apartment, and I'm like, I gotta go. She's like, you gotta go. It's like 2 a.m. Where you gotta go? I said, I gotta go home. But I just didn't want to stay with her because I'm like, oh man, I just banged and I got that post-nut clarity and didn't want to be there no more. All right, so let's keep going. It would creep me out if a woman asked me that right after or during sex. I would feel as if I was getting manipulated or put on the spot. It's true. Women need to be lied to for their own sake. I wouldn't say that they need to be lied to necessarily, but they certainly can't handle the truth, and that's for sure. If they're not prepared for the truth, they shouldn't ask for it. This guy, right? A woman trying to explain men's post-nut clarity is hysterical. This guy writes that, but she actually did a good job, and that's why I wanted to share this video, because it was she did a great explanation. And this guy writes, she looks very knowledgeable in the area. Another one, right? Absolutely. This guy writes, warning, Brazilian speaking here. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of videos about these passport bros mentioning Brazil is a good destination due to the poorer economy and more humble women. I advise anyone who's thinking about coming here or going online to look for a wife to not do it. Our women are the same as North American women. They all play the same tricks and games. I personally know a woman who is engaged to an American simp who has absolutely no idea of who he's possibly marrying. I know her intimately. I know what she does. He, on the other hand, has no idea, and I'm pretty sure he boasts about her to her simp American friend. She followed the Bible of the 30-year-old woman. As soon as she turned 30 and hit the wall, went straight back to church and hooked this poor guy on the internet. Wrapping up, do not ever come here thinking you're going to get find a pure princess of your dreams. Good luck. It's the same anywhere in the world. So let's keep going. And the guy replied to him, funny you mentioned that. Years ago, my parents did the volunteer work in Brazil. I met in online dating a girl in Brazil. I thought my dad would give me the thumbs up. He said, no, don't do it. Why, Dad? The girls in Brazil must be kinder. He said, I can tell you for sure she will only want you as a free passport out of Brazil and divorce money. They have thousands of nice guys down there already, and she has zero need to go anywhere for a husband. Her and I chatted for many years. She told me that I think she's a department manager at a factory and good money. That's true, guys. Like, there's so many men, good men, and where they're already at if they don't have one, and then they try to get a foreigner. So that's something to think about as well. They would have been wifed up by a successful man in their area already. Women are women no matter which part of the world you go to. Women are women. So that's true. No matter what country, it's all the same. I'm Brazilian too, and I can confirm this. Of course, there are exceptions, but there's a real chance that they will file for divorce after they get their permanent residency. I recently dated an immigrant from Brazil for several months, short-circuited after getting checked. You're not kidding, good sir. Brazil will be my last choice for acquiring a Latin wife. Country's too modern and westernized. None of the whole ego thing or men will sleep with anyone argument she's making are true. No, wrong. That's pretty much true. It's true that guys will sleep. They're just not saying. If they fuck a fat bitch, they ain't going around bragging that they fucked a fat bitch. They're bragging that they only fucked a hot girl. That's the only time they're bragging. But if they bang a fat chick, they ain't bragging about that. That guy's wrong. Even women do the same thing. Sexually attractive people are sexually attracted, but being sexually attracted doesn't make you a good long-term partner. Just like women want to sleep with guys they're sexually attracted to, Chad, but instead want to form relationship with someone better suited for long-term relationship. Beta men will do the same thing and want to sleep with women they're sexually attracted to, but look for different things they want in a long-term relationship. Post-nut clarity is just the cognitive dissonance men experiencing after having slept with a woman they're sexually attracted to, but don't find suitable as a long-term partner. This was very good and clearly shows women understand intellectually what post-nut clarity is. What it also shows is women have no pre, present, or post type of clarity at all. Woman cannot love at all. She likes or is attracted to things for a moment or moments of time. Her normal state of mind is confusion. She has no core clarity at all to discover one day. Under the patriarchy, the system of human order did it for her. She didn't understand, but it followed by the use of social shaming if she didn't live right. Now she is free, lost, and dead. She's a pilot that has no idea what an airplane really is. People's lives depend on her, and she can't even help them, let alone save them. Unstable creatures. Yes, that's why they were made to help a man, not lead a man. Fidelity in relationships is achieved when post-nut clarity is achieved, and you or her don't leave. So true. You're absolutely right, my friend. We've been saying the same thing at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you go to the Philippines or any other country in the world. Women are women. First, all over the world, criminalism is rising all over the world, not to mention if you're going there for bad intentions or just to use women for sex. Offered stupid reasons to control these Filipino women are not stupid. They'll turn the tables and use you. Make no mistake, to go there for the right reasons. Dated a nurse Filipino immigrant visa. She said she's a traditional Filipino and me and her don't have the same value system. Her stat, 34, 2 engagements, never married, no kids, but your traditional hush, never got it. I dated 2 Filipinos. I think their island is magical and their civilization doesn't follow the same directions as everyone else. In other words, the rules don't apply to them. Yeah. In other words, women, just because a man can be aroused during attraction doesn't mean that he wants to be connected to you. Yes, I agree. The Philippines is a great place to find a wife. I married a Filipina. She's the best woman I ever been with. Be careful though, fellas. Even the best countries have bad women. So true. Fortunately, as you get older, pre-nut decision ability becomes much greater than post. Alcohol and drugs neutralize that ability. Her, do you love me? I did about 5 minutes ago. I'll probably love you again in about 38 hours. Huh. Women are able to physically stimulate a man. However, if she can stimulate a man mentally, able to be engaging without annoying, she might get him to want to stick around. Big might. When a woman asks if you love her, the correct answer is always maybe, or sometimes. Let's see, anything else I want to share. This video should be titled, When a Man is Most Honest with Himself. It doesn't mean if I nut that I'll be honest with her, right? That's exactly what I said. All right, well, that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed that.
You know, I appreciate the outreach, the comments, and the emails. And if you can, share these videos with a friend, or also at the very least, just give it a like. It doesn't cost anything or take more than a half a second for you to click the like, because then what it does when you click like, YouTube will suggest the videos to other people that have the same interests as you. So that's kind of like how the whole algorithm works. And so that goes and helps a lot too, you know, like if you're not writing comments or sending donations or whatever, pressing like and writing a comment helps greatly as well, you know, because then YouTube will know that you find it useful and that it'll start suggesting, it'll know that it's a legit video that can help somebody, and it'll start suggesting it to other people that are kind of like watching the same things that you're watching, and then it just, you know, then it helps more people.
I'm going to talk about some of the post-nut clarity things that I've dealt with. Maybe you guys have felt some of the same thing. I have this thing where I call it shower post-nut clarity. So like the shower post-nut clarity is like, I usually have it then, especially after I bang a new girl. So like what I was saying is that mine is like, I call it the shower post-nut clarity. So like when I bang a new girl, it happens more. I have this feeling more when I bang a new girl and I didn't use a condom with her, you know? And that's when I'm like wondering, asking myself, why did I do that? And that's when you're trying to like scrub your dick and clean it really well, hoping that the girl doesn't have anything. Like I call that the shower post-nut. But that's when you know, like, man, I just banged her. I wish I didn't do that. Maybe I wish I used a condom, or, you know, that's kind of like the feeling. You know that you really don't want to see this girl again. You don't care or whatever. You don't want to bang her again, and you don't really want to see her again. And then there's the girls that, you know, that you bang and you're like, man, I can't wait to see her again. That was amazing. You know, that's the clarity that you feel like you are attracted to her and you like hanging out with her. If it's not just based off physical, there's things you enjoy actually that you like, just like how I feel about her. I love hanging out with her, passing time with her, taking her to places and things like that, because she's super fun, and just her energy of like being happy all the time is contagious. And like I'm a happy guy all the time too, so me and her together, we have an amazing time together and are always laughing and smiling, and we have so many pictures together, and it's just, you know, when we're intimate, it's like making love, you know? So like the do you love me question after, when they say do you love me, it's similar. I had a girl that I got with. What ended up happening is we haven't banged, and I took her on a trip. I was dating her. She was a model out in the Philippines. So I was doing all the things. She was super pretty, you know. I really wanted to bang her. I didn't really want a relationship. You know, I had to go through the hoops of like getting to know her, talking to her, and going out a couple times without banging or any intimacy. And then I invited her to a trip, hoping that we would be able to bang on the trip. But she didn't want to bang. She's all, who's going on the trip? I said, just me and you. but we'll have a lot of friends over there. And she's all, where am I going to stay? I said, with me, in my room. She's all, how many beds? I said, 2 beds, but you're going to sleep on, we're going to use 1 bed. She's all, no, we're not. And she's all, yes, we are. And I was like joking, saying, no, we're going to use the same bed. And I said, yes, we are. And I just saying it jokingly, but that was my goal. And she's all, I only want to go if there's 2 beds. And I said, yeah, there's 2 beds. Don't worry about it. And I would just have to try and work my magic when we got there, which I did. And I only booked her a ticket for, though I was there for the whole week for Holy Week, but I booked her a ticket only for like half, for like 3 days in case she didn't want to put out. I could send her home and go hang out with my girls that I know guaranteed would be down to bang. I had my backup plan just in case, but I did like the girl. I was attracted to her and was enjoying. I couldn't wait to bang her. She was super pretty. And so we finally banged after we went out one night, and we went to go drink wine, and I knew the DJs at a place. So she was DJing. She was feeling all this excitement and happiness and stuff that she's never done before. And when we got back, she was buzzed and she was getting in her bed. I jumped in her bed and she's all, what are you doing? She's all, go to your bed. I said, no, I'm staying here with you. And then we started cuddling and started kissing, and then we ended up banging. And the next morning, she was already calling me babe, and I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? Is this girl, because we just barely met. We didn't really know each other that long before that. She was calling me babe already. I was like, oh my God. And that's kind of equivalent of asking, do you love me? It's a similar thing that kind of scares a guy away. And then I had another girl that I was dating like in college where we were just hooking up. She was a friend. I was the boyfriend of like her friend. They were in high school together. I broke up with a girl that was her friend. I actually started banging her, and I stopped talking to the girl I was with and just started banging. I moved on to this one, and this girl fell in love with me too. And she was like wanting to be with me, but I didn't want to be with her. I just like banging her, and she even went as far as to like write me letters and shit, how she feels, wanting to be. So sometimes I wouldn't even read the letter. I would just ignore it and pretend like I didn't know what she was talking about and just keep banging her. And then to the point where she got too emotional and too attached, and I just had to cut that off because she just kept pushing and pushing for a relationship. And that's what happens. You'll see that pattern happen, especially when a girl really likes you. So don't do that. I just played dumb, I ended up, like when I was talking, like when you destroy the world, that's what ends up happening. If you tell them the truth, you're going to break their heart and feel like they betrayed you, and you'll just destroy the world. I met another girl who fell in love with me. I met her at a bar, and she was walking by. I said, hey, wait, where are you going? I said, she's like, I'm leaving already. I said, well, just give me 2 minutes. I just need to know who you are, and you can time it. You can leave right after. And I got her number. I found out that she works right behind where I lived at the time. And so I invited her over to come out and have lunch, and we went out to go eat. She walked literally across the street from where I lived. And so she would come over every day at lunch and after work, and we would bang, and she fell in love. And her parents were strict, so she always had to go home. I'm like, why can't you just sleep over? You can go to work the next day easy. She's like, I can't, my dad's really strict, so she would have to go home every night. I was banging her. She looked like Vanessa Hudgens. That's who she reminds me of. And this girl, she was cool. We were super down, but she just wasn't the kind of girl that I wanted to be with, even though she was super cute and we were always having fun and having sex, a lot of sex together. And she fell in love and did the same thing that the other girl did, was writing letters, wanting a relationship. And I'm like, keep telling her, I don't want a relationship at a time. I'm enjoying what we have, and I just want to be single. And so she was okay with that. I keep giving her that excuse when she keep pushing for it. So we would still hang out and go out to eat and go out to have some drinks, and I'd show her all of my favorite places, and she'd show me her favorite places. So this is what ended up destroying her world. Was remember how I kept saying I don't want to be in a relationship, and then I met that other model girl who I was way hotter than her, and who I wanted to be with, or I wanted to bang at least, not be with. And then I invited her to that place on the trip with me, and we ended up banging. And then after we ended up banging, we ended up just becoming super attracted to each other and building a emotional connection. And we would just bang all the time. And I'd stay at her apartment. When we got back from that trip, I would stay at her apartment. So I stopped. Whenever I had a chance, I would still see the girl who worked behind where I lived. We started seeing each other less. She's like, why aren't you seeing me anymore? You're like, you don't answer. You're like not home. I said, yeah, I'm busy, whatever. And I didn't really tell her what I was doing. but I was staying with the other girl, the new girl that I wanted, the model girl. I ended up getting with the girl, the model girl. We ended up becoming like a serious relationship because I fell in love. We fell in love, like actually fell in love, like a soulmate type of love. The other girl found out, and that's what really affects these girls badly when they find out, you know, because you're subliminally, you rejected them. You kept telling them you don't want a relationship, then all of a sudden you're in a relationship, and then they find out the girl that you got with is hotter, prettier. The other girl, the model girl, came from a rich family too, so she was even more well off. She didn't really need to work. She just did modeling as like a way to get out of the house and make some extra money for whatever she wanted to do. But she didn't need to do it. Her dad bought her a car. She had her own apartment. Her dad paid for her apartment. Her dad bought her a car. She had a new car and everything. And in the Philippines, cars are twice the cost of whatever the cost of it is in America is double the price in the Philippines. So, you know, it's kind of like my girl down here in Mexico, the same thing. Like I got the Mexican version down here of what I had over there. It's the exact same thing. And they both think the same way, and they're both entitled the same. They both became entitled the same way. Well, that's besides the point. But anyways, the other girl found out that I got with this super pretty model, whatever, that had everything else that she was lacking, and it just completely destroyed her. She like felt betrayed. She got upset and just like blocked me and didn't want to talk to me no more. Everything. She blocked me on all social medias, blocked my number, everything. Then months go by. I saw her a couple months later while me and my new girlfriend, the model girlfriend, went out to Italian restaurant. She was at the Italian restaurant and she acted like she didn't see me. I like walked right by her and I was like about trying to say hi, but she just completely ignored me and she completely changed who she was. Like before, she was this clean-cut Vanessa Hudgens, all natural, no makeup girl. And then when I saw her again, like what I did completely fucked her up. She shaved her head. She became this like goth girl. She had piercings in her nose, all over piercings, and half of her head was shaved. She had all these tattoos all over her, and she was wearing black leather and black leather long boots. I was like, what? I almost didn't recognize her. I'm like, but it was her. And then when I knew it was her, when she saw me and just like completely ignored and like didn't want nothing to do with me, I thought she'd be over it by then. But like that's just what'll happen, and that's what happens when, like, I guess you can consider me like I was a Chad over there in the Philippines doing this with these girls. You know, they weren't working girls, they were models. These girls were innocent and working at like normal jobs. And she had like she worked at a magazine. She was like some fashion editor or something at a magazine in the Philippines. I don't remember the name of the magazine, but that's what she used to do. So, you know, she's kind of like one of those Sex and the City type professional girls over there working in the city. You know, I was able to penetrate or get through to her where other guys were failing and she wasn't banging any of them. But then she bangs me, and then I go and break her heart. Then it completely changes who they are, and that's what happens to the girls in the Western places. They bang so many Chads, the Chads that they want to be with don't want to be with them, and it ends up fucking them up to where they can go just like what this happened to this girl, to where she became complete opposite of who she was. She became like more rebellious, and she destroyed her looks and her body and everything, and got all the tattoos and the piercings. It was just like, it was a complete turnoff. And I realized at that point, like, wow, that's what ended up happening. So what ended up happening, the consequences of my actions. Because as guys, you don't really think of what happens to the girl once you like pump and dump them. You know, you're like, whatever. But then I actually saw what was the outcome of that. So let me think if there's anything else that I wanted to share, you know, because like seeing that, they can become suicidal. They can become like more emotionally crazy, more clingy, more crazy to the point where they'll destroy your property. They'll destroy your reputation. Any girl you're talking to, they'll make up lies and talk shit. You know, so all these things that can happen, you know, so you got to be careful if you get what you wish for. Because I always be like, man, I wish I could bang every pretty girl that I see. And at some point, it was pretty much happening. And it almost is still happening now, you know. And so be careful what you wish for, because there are consequences to what you get. So be careful. There's a price to pay, and there's a downside at the same time. Thought that would be a great video to share with you guys, and some stories from my background of what ended up happening from my experiences of doing the post-nut clarity, and kind of like how you get with girls and can kind of like destroy their lives, you not thinking that you are, but in reality you are. Like emotionally they get really fucked up, And like the girl that was before, the two girls that were high school friends that I was the boyfriend of one and I ghosted her and got with the friend, that girl ended up pregnant right after with the next guy. And she told me, we met up again a couple years later, not a long time after. She already had her kid and everything. We ended up connecting again. And she told me that I fucked her up. Like, she admitted to me, like, hey, what you did to me was pretty fucked up. I was pretty fucked up for a while after that. And then she got with this guy she didn't really care about, and then she ended up getting pregnant by him. It's kind of like a rebound, but she didn't mean to get pregnant. She was just young and didn't know at the time, you know, and so she kept the kid, and the kid is older now. But, you know, I realized, like, these are the kind of things that are going to happen. You fuck things up for other girls when these chads, or you don't even have to be a chad, if the girl's emotionally attached to you, they're going to feel and they're going to do it. You know, even my girlfriend now, the one I love, says that I destroyed her life, you know, because of the way I am, because she expected me to change and stop seeing the other girls because I love her. And she can't understand that if I love her so much, why do I still see these other girls? And it's just like, I love myself more, and I'm not going to stop doing the things that I love to try and make someone else happy. And you just got to be willing to let them go if you love yourself that much, and you what you want more, and you won't bend over backwards or sacrifice your happiness for someone else's happiness. You're going to learn that eventually. And the only way you're going to be able to be strong and be able to walk away is if you have options. If that's your only option, then you're going to sacrifice and do things you don't really want to do. But if you have multiple options, it'll be easier, and it won't be such a scarcity mindset, and you'll be able to walk away or let them go even if you don't want to. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. Thought that was a great video. Lots of lessons to be learned and think about in that one. So hope you enjoyed that one. And then shout out to my friend Winnell, who did that video. I'll put her social media up so you guys can follow her and support her as well, and help her with her subscribers and stuff like that. Talk to you guys soon. Adios, pura vida. Dice adios, baby. All right, well, that's it for now, guys. I thought I'd share those things with you. Also share my thoughts on other things that I'm thinking in my life. And again, like, the Jedi group is now pretty much ready. So if you want to be part of the Young Jedi or the Jedi Masters, send me your emails already, so that way I can put everyone that's on the list already and send out the notification that, hey, we're about to launch. I'm pretty happy with the group that I put together. It's going to be pretty useful, and it's going to be a great networking place for you guys to network and ask questions that you can't ask anybody, from guys that are living the life and that can't share this with any information with anybody. They'll be more willing to share with you guys in the group because they know that you've been vetted and that you share a similar type of lifestyle. And so, you know, just one tip or one piece of advice will make it all worth it. You know, and I ain't charged. I'm just charging you guys to get in, and that's also to weed out the serious people. But you'll make that money back with just one piece of a good advice or a idea of a place that you want to go to, or save you from getting ripped off in the spot. That'll pay for it 10 times over. You know, I'm not charging a monthly fee or anything to remain a member. It's like, once you're in for life, unless you do something stupid or start problems or whatever in the group. Then, but yeah, that's why I'm like, if you guys want to get in, send the email. It's pretty much ready now. I'm going to be launching it probably within the next maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and get you guys going in there. Looking forward to seeing all of you in there and sharing some more stories and advice. You know, possibly do some Zoom calls for just the group members in there. That way we can like network, bring the net, you know, then have the networking effect of people getting to know each other, ask questions in real time and stuff too. So, all right, well, that's it for now, guys. All right, guys, so I'm putting together these groups, my Jedi Master Inner Circle. So there's going to be 2 levels to it. You're going to have the Jedi Masters, which are the guys that are making 100K or more per year at least, and have been well-traveled, have a lot of experience, and know of different places that we can go to experience and find beautiful girls and be able to share amongst everyone and give advice to other people as well. And then we're also going to have the young Jedis that maybe aren't as experienced or just starting out in life or are young and don't really have much money, but they want to live this lifestyle. They're being inspired, and they want to start and learn and be able to communicate with each other. So that'll be the second level. And of course, the Jedi Master level will be in both, so that you'll have the Jedi Masters also helping the young Jedis by answering questions for people that are new. And then the Jedi Masters, what we're gonna do is have like trips maybe once a year where all of us Jedi Masters come together and go to a destination where we'll be able to experience all of this together and share and network and share financial advice, how to make money. It'll be how to make money, how to deal with breakups, how to meet girls, pretty much everything that you're seeing on my videos that I'm teaching. We'll be able to network and do it in person and put together these groups and meetings for people and kind of be me as the connector, connecting all of you guys together, because I'm getting all these messages from people from all walks of life in different parts of the world. And a lot of you guys tell me that you don't have anyone to share these experiences with, or share your stories and share all the knowledge that you've accumulated throughout the years. And once you communicate with me, it's like you're spilling your entire story because you're so excited to tell someone finally, because there's no one else you can't tell your friends, can't tell your family, and there's no one you can ask questions. There's no one you can share these intimate details with. And so I want to bring you guys together with other like-minded people that are watching my videos and kind of want to live this lifestyle as well. So if you're interested in joining the Jedi Master Inner Circle, still putting together all the fine details, but I'll put you guys on a wait list. Send me an email and let me know which Jedi Master or Jedi part level in the inner circle that you want to be in. There's going to be either the young Jedi or the Jedi Masters, and the Jedi Masters is going to be 500 for you guys to join. That's the screening process. And then we got the young Jedis for $50. That way it's affordable. And the 500 is to screen out. Obviously, if you're doing well, 500 isn't much. And then it keeps out the people that aren't serious. It's kind of like how to weed out the people that aren't really real. And of course, there's going to be moderation, and there's going to be like content moderation, where I moderate who gets in and interview the people that want to come in to make sure they're real. And that way, everyone that's in the group is actually there because they want to be, and that they share this similar outlook on life and want to live this type of life and level up even more, make more connections, make more friends, kind of like me and Tim, the 72-year-old that you've been seeing interview, and other people you haven't seen in my videos that I hang out with. It'll be kind of like being into the inner circle and make these kind of bonds that will last a lifetime, and these kind of memories that we can share together and have some awesome adventures together. So if you're interested, send me an email and then put wait list you'd want to be on, and then as soon as I'm ready, I'll notify all you guys that it's ready, and then we'll put you guys in maybe a Telegram or a Discord, or I'm still trying to figure out the logistics, but once it's ready, then you guys will be invited once you pay the entrance fee, and then we'll get you in. All right, guys, that's it. Adios, pura vida. You say adios, baby.
Adios.
Bye. Well, guys, if you coming down here to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, I have friends down here as well that can take care of stuff. If you're headed down to Costa Rica, I got friends in Costa Rica that can help take care of the stuff, help assist with transportation and activities and lodging and things like that. And then the business that helped me live this life is the credit card service business. So if you own a business and you're still paying the credit card fees, you don't have to do that anymore. Stop wasting your money. You could be enjoying it every month instead of like whatever you're paying to the bank, $1,000, $2,000 to the bank every month. You can take it and go on a vacation. Look at the ocean, how beautiful it is down here, and the weather's perfect. It's so early in the morning, I'm already sweating. It's tropical, and people are swimming down there, if you could see. And the only thing I wish that was down here is that there was more waves. But like I said, if you own a business, you don't have to pay for the fees. You can use it for vacation, take your family out, reinvest in your business, or whatever it is you want to do with it. It's way better than wasting it, paying it to the bank and getting nothing in return. So that's it. Send me an email or write in the comments. I'll be glad to help you out. All right, that's it for now. Talk to you guys later. Adios. Pura vida.